A very good morning to all of you students. Students, today we are going to start the first poem of our MCB, the first flight, and the name of the poem is Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Before starting the poem, let me tell you something about Robert Frost. Robert Frost was born in 1874 in San Francisco, California. In his lifetime, he won more than one Pulitzer Prize and attended Harvard. His poetry remains significant in today's literary world, and his name is also linked to the Robert Frost Library, where President John F. Kennedy honored the poet with a speech. This honoring was somewhat fitting since Frost read a poem at Kennedy's inauguration. Frost passed away in the year 1963. The theme of this poem, The Dust of Snow, is the poet is trying to tell us that the best things in life are free. On a cold winter day, staying home could have been comfortable, but due to unavoidable circumstances, the poet has been forced to go out, to move out. At such a time, the only thing that cheers him up is the world of nature, crows, and snowflakes. This natural world is available for us to see and touch free of cost. However, we generally take it for granted. Worse still, we can curse nature for giving us bad weather, such as the inhabitants of New England do in winter. However, if we look beyond our own inconvenience, we will see that nature is truly beautiful even at its harshest, even when we find it the worst. If only we pay attention to all that life gives us, we will learn to appreciate it. That is why we are told many times that we should count our blessings. The crow is what brings the beauty of the snowflakes to the poet's attention, and for that he is grateful. He is grateful to be alive to see such wonderful sights in the world at no cost. So, Dust of Snow is a beautiful poem written by the famous poet Robert Frost. Though the poem is very brief, but it has a significant meaning. It conveys a great meaning. This poem stands for guiding a person who has lost all hopes and is very sad. The falling of dust of snow has changed the mood of the poet. The poet was sitting under a hemlock tree, quiet and upset. This very small incident changed his sad mood to happy mood. So it teaches us that we should not be desperate, and we should never feel hopeless, because there is always an opportunity to change the sad mood into happy mood. It is just on upon ourselves how we take the thing. So let me start with the explanation of the poem. The first stanza is, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. In this stanza, students, the poet is talking about a winter's day when all the treetops were covered in masses of snowflakes. As we we come to know about North Pole countries, it's totally covered and draped with snow. The poet was walking under one such snow covered tree. This was the North American conifer known as the hemlock, named so because its smell resembles that of the European plant from which poison known as hemlock was made. Hence, by virtue of its name, this tree was not one that you could associate with anything positive. Means it is considered a very negative sort of tree, which is used to make with the this tree poison is made. However, a crow alighted on this tree suddenly, and because of that sudden motion, the mass of snowflakes Atop it fell down on the poet like rain. The snowflakes were so light and small that the poet thought they looked like white and immaculate dust particles. If indeed dust particles could ever be white, it means they were very tiny. This shower of snowflakes from the hemlock tree is evidently the subject matter of this poem, since it touched the poet in some way. Second stanza is has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had ruined. In this stanza, the poet explains to us exactly in what way the shower of snowflakes had an effect on him. He says that it changed his mood, it affected the poet's mood. That is to say, he had been in a despairing mood, and the snowflakes falling on him all of a sudden gladdened his heart. Means he felt better and joyful now. In addition to this, there was another effect that the shower of snowflakes had on the poet. He says that that particular day was one that he had not been looking forward to, and in fact, it was not going too well either. He had decided in his mind that that particular day would go waste. And however, the snow, just like snow on his shoulder, changed his mind. It made him feel that the day had not been a complete waste. At least some part of that day had been pleasant, since it had given him a new experience that he could treasure, as well as the material for another one of his wonderful poetic compositions. So, here he has shown that there was a change in his mood from despair to joy. So, rhyming scheme over here is each of the two stanzas in Dust of Snow follows the same rhyming scheme, that is AB, AB. If you check it in the first stanza, crow is A, me is B, snow is again resembling crow, so it will be A, and tree is resembling second line, that is me, so it will be B. Has given my heart, heart is again A, and mood is B. Now part is again rhyming like heart only, so A again, and rude is mood and rude, so the mood and read is B. So AB, AB in both the stanzas. There is another poetic device which is used when a covert comparison is made between two different things or ideas in this poem. The poet uses the device of metaphor in the third line of the first stanza when he compares the mass of snowflakes atop the hemlock tree with dust, right? The dust of snow. So here the dust of snow is metaphor, and there is use of symbolism also. The symbolism in this poem is very subtle and hard to catch. If we read between the lines, we will be able to understand just how apt the symbols used by the poet here are. Poet is having a bad day and he is clear about that. However, to make us understand the severity of his bad mood, sad mood, he introduces us to the symbol of the hemlock tree. Hence, the hemlock tree from which the poison is said to be made is the symbol of death. So, here symbolism is used. Symbolism and metaphor we have already discussed. And one more symbolism is again there. The next symbol that the poet introduces to us is that of the crow. The crow is an ambiguous symbol and could stand for many things. Generally, the crow is considered to be the ugliest among the birds. Hence, it could be another side to degrade the poet's mood once again. Crow and this hemlock tree both are depicted with negative ideas. And one more poetic device is there, that is synecdoche. The poetic device is used in many ways to represent one thing with the help of an entirely different one. In this poem, the poet uses this device to represent the whole in first line of the second stanza. He says that his heart has undergone a change of mood because the crow has made the snowflakes from the hemlock tree rain down on him. However, he is now experiencing a better mood as a result of the actions of the crow. So, this is the outcome. So, this is synecdoche. So, these are the poetic devices, children. Now, I'm discussing a few question answers over here. First question is, what is a dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? The dust of snow means fine particles or very minute particles of flakes of snow. The sudden shower in the form of dust of snow changed the poet's mood. The poet's mood changed from sad to happy. He felt better, he felt positive, he felt refreshed and wanted to enjoy the rest of the day. Now, next question is, have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? Explain with reference to the poem Dust of Snow. Here you can always mention any of your, because life is always a pendulum between sorrows and joys. So everybody goes through bad or good experiences in life. So whenever you must have felt sad at times, no? So whenever you have felt sad, you can always mention over here and how your behavior changed with somebody's motivation or something good happened later. So you all can express like that, and then you can come back to the poem expressing how the poet's mood changed from sad to happy. Next question is, how has the poet observed nature in the poem Dust of Snow? The poet has observed nature as a positive medium of change for him. The poet had been in the sad and depressing mood in the poem, but then the way a crow shook snow dust off, it changed his mood. Nature gave him the inspiration to behave in a positive manner. Next question is, what does the poet want to convey through the poem Dust of Snow? Here in this poem, Dust of Snow, the poet wants to convey that sometimes certain moments or actions which are simple have larger significance. They can change the mood or life of a person. The way a crow shakes down the dust of snow on the poet inspires and gives him the idea to shake off his depressive thoughts, because uh, one has to be cheerful, and then he becomes cheerful and he wants to do something now positive. So this was all about the poem A Dust of Snow. So I hope you all have understood it well. Please listen to the module and revise the poem, and we'll discuss all the things in the class too. So till then, have a wonderful day ahead, children. God bless you all. Thank you.